Hello, Chris here. Okay, so future of VHS, is it gonna be a failure or success? That is the question. Okay, let's talk about what we do know so far, and then I'm gonna tell you what I believe will determine success of VHS. Okay, we already covered what VHS is in the previous videos. At least I do believe that most of you already know what VHS is, what kind of a game it is, and what you need to do. Now that I played for more than 120 hours, Jesus, it's already been 120 hours. Yeah, I already have a lot of hours in the game, and I did play both sides. Monster much less. I only have like 20-ish games on Monster, but still enough to capture the essence of the role, and over 600 matches on team. But yeah, it's definitely not an addiction, so don't worry. Okay, so I'm talking from my experience of VHS and what I heard from other streamers and creators, because I connected with a lot of them. We do love this game. This game is incredible, amazing. Most of us do believe that this is exactly what we needed in 4v1 universe, because let's face it, Dead by Daylight wasn't cutting it out for most of us anymore. But we're not here to shit talk Dead by Daylight. I still think it's a wonderful game, just developers suck. Yeah. Anyway, VHS is a much more fast-paced game than Dead by Daylight, which makes it a bit more competitive, because you don't really have a survivor role here. Your job is not to survive, it's to kill the other side. You surviving can only prolong the match for so long. So yeah, since you have a really fast-paced game where your only objective is to finish off the other side before they finish you, that does tend to be a bit more competitive than sitting on a gen. And to be honest, it's a bit more intoxicating, because the game can play out in gazillion different ways. There is no way a single play will be repeated over and over and over again, which I think is the best part of the game. I like the originality. If I load in another match, I don't want to be facing the same monster who's gonna be attacking me with the same pattern. I don't want to be forced to craft the same weapon, ambush him in the same place. You get the gist. I just don't like the repetitiveness some games have. And that's what I really love about VHS, is the unpredictability it has. All those elements, plus depending on which side you are, if you're a team, you can talk to your teammates, you gotta plan out your next move. If you're a monster, you have to take so many things into consideration. Where the stigma stations are the teams healing themselves, or is somebody else healing them? There's just so much to think about. And all that will conclude in you having to improvise most of the time. There is no perfect way to play this game. You can only get better at doing certain things, like kiting, communicating with your team, assessing the situation so you can navigate your team towards victory. Like, oh, we need this weapon right now. Can you get on it? I'm gonna buy us time. I'm gonna go down, but if we get this weapon, it's worth it. All those small things will make this game incredibly intoxicating for a lot of people. And the biggest reason behind it is, as I mentioned, it's not repetitive. You cannot play this game on autopilot and expect to win. That's not gonna happen. The only way you can go around this is to constantly change. You have to adapt to the situation, you have to adapt to your teammates, if you have them, or to the enemy. You will almost never run into two werewolves who play the same way. You will almost never run into two doll masters who have the same hiding spot. Okay, I think I made my point. The game is generally not repetitive. It's really fast-paced. If you've seen the gameplay, you would see it's really fast-paced. Every second counts. If you waste too much time, you lose. Simple as that. And most importantly, you will get frustrated playing it. You will have a lot of fun, but there will be moments when you fuck up, somebody else fucks up, and you will get frustrated. Why am I mentioning this? Because that's the gist of every single game. I never poured my heart and soul into a game that didn't get me pissed every once in a while. And I'm not saying in a bad way. The game is not broken. This is not the reason you're gonna get frustrated because of some minor bugs or whatever. You're gonna get frustrated because of your screw up, a monster's outplay, or you're gonna feel like, oh god damn, I'm so freaking bad. I could have literally won the match here. Stuff like that happens all the time, and it pisses me off, but in a really good, intoxicating way. I get pissed off and then I want to play more. Like, oh, I gotta redeem myself. You know, I messed up a slingshot, I'm going for another one. You know, I don't care if you lose now, I gotta land that slingshot. And this is like the best feeling you can get out of the game, the competitiveness you have with yourself and with everybody else. I know that I've been talking about a lot of nonsense, what seems like nonsense, but just hear me out. I said all of this stuff. I wanted to explain the game and what it feels like to you, because we're getting to the main reason what's gonna make or break VHS. from what I told you so far, we already established the game is fantastic. There's gonna be a lot of people who are gonna love it, and I have no doubt this is gonna be a famous, popular game that a lot of people will get on. And I have zero doubts in developers. They will make this game even greater. They will improve it, give us new stuff, new monsters, new maps, do some adjustments, maybe bring in another Steam. I really don't know. I don't know what they're planning for the future, but this game is going places. We really don't need to doubt people wanting to get on it, and we don't need to doubt developers on developing the game, since they've done such a great job so far. The only thing we need to worry about is the actual competitive side, and that's rankings. This is the thing that's gonna make or break VHS. Ranking system and matchmaking. Don't get me wrong, it seems like I'm saying, oh, the developers could screw up, and if you get a bad ranking system, the game will perish. All that is a possibility, but it's not gonna be developers' fault. There is no perfect ranking system, trust me. If you went through a lot of online games, there is literally no perfect way to go about matchmaking and rankings. You can only do it as good as possible for that particular game, because every game is different, needs different ranking systems, and needs different matchmaking. Determining this will be incredibly hard, since the game is only in beta, and we still don't have any matchmaking to base it off. So whatever we get in early access, yes, you heard it right, we're gonna be getting some sort of matchmaking in early access. I still don't know anything about it, but I really hope it's gonna be at least decent of the get-go, and I seriously doubt it's gonna be great, because as I said, every game is different. Matchmaking and ranking is usually based upon something inside of the game. In some games it's simple as winning the game, like in League of Legends, but League of Legends is a 5v5 balanced match. You have both sides with the same roles, same champion pools. It literally couldn't be more simple to create a matchmaking system. You win a match, you gain points. You lose a match, you lose points. But in asymmetrical game where you have 4v1 and each of your teammates could play a different role technically in that match, one or two people could simply go for stun weapons the whole match. That's the plan they came up with, and your ranking is based off stigma kills. That just wouldn't be fair. And those players who went for stun weapons maybe actually contributed more than the players who went for kill weapons. I'm just giving you an example here. It's not gonna be easy to determine how to rank somebody up. That's the first problem. There's a ton more. Like, what is the ranking system gonna look like? Are we gonna have something similar to Dead by Daylight, where you have like bronze, gold? League of Legends has the similar thing. Yeah, I don't know. Like, I'm not sure what it's gonna look like. I don't know if developers have any sort of idea already. They probably do, since they're making one as we speak. So there's that. Ranking and matchmaking. This is what, in my own opinion, will make or break VHS. The biggest problem is that it's not even gonna be developers' fault if they fail, because this is gonna take some testing. Like, they're probably gonna switch it up every couple of months, because there's gonna be issues, people disagreeing on it, even though that's not gonna be the biggest problem. But they just need to find something that's gonna function well generally. There's not gonna be a perfect system, I will tell you that much, but they just need to find something that works, and this is probably gonna take some time. And that brings us to the problem. They will have a limited amount of time to spike up everybody's interest in the game. Right? You may be only a couple of months where everybody's gonna be giving them a chance, but look, if you play a competitive online game, usually you play it mostly for competitiveness. I get it. A lot of people will say, I disagree. I play it because it's fun. And I think that's okay. But let me tell you why I think that's bullshit. Yes, the game can be fun, but what keeps on bringing you back to an online game is the feeling of intoxication you get. Dopamine spikes up in your brain, which produces happiness. Now, this is really similar to a gambling addiction. The higher the stakes, the more dopamine you get when you win. There was a research on League of Legends and why people consider it the most addicting game ever. And they did a research where they asked a lot of League of Legends players, why do they still keep on playing the game since they hate it? And a lot of people actually admitted, hey, I hate the game, but I always go back to it. Look, I play League of Legends, and I know what the reason is. They made the game perfectly in a sense that you have a lot of smaller trades and a lot of things that you do throughout the games. It's not only about winning the game. It's not only about macro, it's also about micro plays. Whenever you do something small, it's like sort of an outplay on the enemy, or you outsmarted somebody, boom, dopamine spikes. Just because you have a bunch of those moments in a single game, which is like 30 minutes, you probably have like 20 of those. That's much more than playing like a game of, I don't know, Dead by Daylight, where the only important thing is like, hey, I need to get out. Okay, maybe you can spin the killer couple of times and that spikes up the dopamine. But let's say you're just trying to get out to gain the ranks up. It's like a 10 to 20 minute match for one dopamine spike. You get what I'm saying here? The more of those you have, the better, the more addicted you become. So what I was saying, why I think it's bullshit that you only play for fun. Yeah, the game can be fun, but it's gonna be fun for only so long. In a sense that something else might preoccupy me. The simplest way to compare it is to a single player game. I love Elder Scrolls games, and I grew up on them. I go back to them every now and then, like Oblivion, Morrowind, and Skyrim. I absolutely freaking adore those games, but I've never 100%ed them because they're too big. It's like couple $1,000 just to 100% a game. You go through like a quest line or something and you just play. It's extremely fun until you find something that's like fun right now. Maybe I'm playing Oblivion and I invest, what, 50 hours? Like I play every day for a couple hours. Then I find something online. Hey, maybe I could start watching this anime. And then I start watching that anime, and now instead of wasting my free time on Oblivion, I spend it on anime or maybe another game. That's just simply how it works. If you want the game to keep you constantly coming back, I feel like it's mostly about competitiveness because that's where the biggest dopamine spikes come from. So yeah, that's just like my take on it. I don't know, I might be wrong here, but hey, I'm just trying to share my own opinions with you. Now, as always, I want to hear what you guys think. If you agree, disagree, have anything to add, have any questions, please feel free to drop them down below in the comments. That's what they're here for. Also, if you find the video enjoyable and don't want to miss out on any future ones that I'll be making, please consider smashing that like button and don't forget to subscribe and turn on the notification bell. All that being said, wishing you all a beautiful evening, and I guess I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.